Tonic and Blur. It seems like their experience when it comes to those snipes in multiplayer is also translating here in Ground War Breach. Looking super solid, and like what you mentioned, 32 lives, and it's not looking fine for them as they still need so much ground to cover.
No, you know what? I made an assumption earlier. I've never seen a game be played out where the attacking team got the A objective and didn't win the game. Right now, we're witnessing a breakdown. This is a very difficult objective to hold, and certainly the defense has put their foot down again. You got Gunny's like, Tech, I need to know how many kills he's got by the end. Every time I look up, he's a walking three-piece win. Looking to get a win under his belt as well. Vague, man, they got the top side terrorist control. He's got 2 homies down. Good shots with the Odin right there as he's going to go ahead and get a little antsy, push on up. Stimmy's going to come out as well. And in the water, hello, he's a shark. He's going to take down another in space. On the trades, as Little B does get drawn. Oh my! Vague!
Goodness!
What are you doing? Oh, finally! Was that a point blank from space? You nasty.
Yo, he got 10 kills. We started things off. He was slow, but you know what? He finally found his footing. Seems like the close range engagement's definitely something that he prefers, and that is the play style that we like to see from someone like Vague. But everyone's doing their job on the defense with just 19 lives left for the attacking round. It seems like the defense for that B2 is just so solid for the teams of Vague, Jokes, the Bobby, and Win.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier as well. That moment where they almost had the objective captured there in the B1 kind of just fell right underneath them. They have not been able to regain the attacking side. Down to but 19. Can they make the most of it? Band and team looking pretty solid there as the feeds are coming through. It's Blue lighting up the feed right now, and Noah's getting a little bit of aggressive as he does try to get the wraparound. This might be a few free kills for him. Oh, but he's sniffed out in. He's got more talent in one hand than most mobile gamers do, I tell you that.
I mean, that's the thing. Noah pushed all on his own, and I feel like that was a good strategy. He was at the edge of the zone, and probably if he had Scout inside, then he probably would have been heard, and Ken wouldn't have gotten that kill. But there you go. Noah goes down. Great effort, and now 15 plays Infinity. That is just not a good number to hear.
Oh, no. To infinity and beyond right now. Not a lot to work for here on the attack. They're down to 12. The tank is going to come out, but we got a little tank v tank warfare. They're holding the line, the defense looking to shut it down. We're down to 11. Noah gets dropped yet again. And at this moment, you have to hang on for dear life. Brace yourself. This one has gotten brutal early on, and I favored the team of Bobby and Noah and had a lot of faith. And right now, it is crumbling before our eyes.
Man, look at that. Just single digits at this point, and they're going down pretty quickly. And at this point, there's just no way to save your lives, save yourselves. And this is just a matter of who's going to get the most kills on the attack side, and it looks like the 20 is definitely going to matter if you are going to be Noah Sunday. But right now, 0 for the attack as the defense gets that first dub here. The 4 teams definitely did a phenomenal job at defending.
Okay, well, I'm impressed. I don't know about you all. They are absolutely cooking. I would have been fried in this lobby. It is past Thanksgiving, but there would have been plenty to serve from this body. Shift, talk to me. This one is getting interesting. We need to see the stats, but
you know, the interesting thing about it was there was this moment in the game where it looked at the offense, like you kind of mentioned, they got through A pretty cleanly, they got the first flag at B, and then all of a sudden that recapture that came from the defense completely took the wind out of the sails, the offensive side. So yeah, it'll be really interesting, I think, to see how things go. Now keep in mind though, for all of you guys out there at home, that throughout the entirety of the day, those superlative bounties are going to be up to fan vote. There is a link pinned at the top of the chat that will take you to a Google Doc where, again, all of our teams will submit clips throughout the day for you to vote on and give a little bit of extra cash love to all of these guys that are out there. We'll get a full breakdown and look at the standings when we come back at the backside of the break. And, of course, at that, we will jump right into game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We're at the Ground War Breach Cash Grab Invitational. That's We are through our first game of the Ground War Breach cash grab. Looked like it was going to be an offensive runaway until it wasn't, which is probably the most COD Mobile thing you could probably ever say. Big momentum shift there right on that B zone. Lots to break down as we're getting ready to go for the majority of our day yet still to come. Shift with Verdict and Beef Mommy. Guys, I mean, I think the thing about it is we saw a little bit of everything that we were kind of foreshadowing towards. A little bit of tank action, a little bit of repair action on the tank that could have been big. And of course, with that, a lot of highlights from some of our biggest players.
Oh, Juan Wick. Look at him. That's right. It's not John Wick from Wish. This is Shady. He is all up in the tank, baby. And look at it. He is just going to town. This was primitive action in the very beginning. A captured, but hey, you got to get something going a little later on in the game, too.
And look at the snipes on this guy. Ducky is definitely providing so much damage as the medic as well, and he's definitely there to rescue his teammates in times of need. But honestly, like what you mentioned already, Shiv, this is the best game number one that we could have asked. It showed everything that we could have been just to like establish everything about ground war.
You know, the interesting thing, and it's just kind of hitting me because we're seeing it full value here on screen. You have to imagine that once that tank becomes active, it's literally a foot race to see who gets in it, because it looked like the majority of kills that we had were coming from either the main gun or the turret that comes with it. So it'll be really curious to see who was able to get in the tank most often and how much reward they were able to pull from that when it comes to, again, every kill equaling 1 point. I mean, any big surprises? I mean, at one point we were saying Vega only had 2 kills. We're like, what's going on?
Oh, he went on a tear, bro. He had 2 kills. I think he heard me and took it offensive. And finally, he started to turn on the gun. He, man, was frying towards the end. And very much so a MVP performance to rack it up towards that backside. So they were able to shut it down. They were able to get those 10 points. And he went on, what, a 10 spree, you said?
Yeah, he was at 10. The last time that we saw him, he was at a 10. But for me, the most surprising part was Bobby dealing damage on that tank.
Yeah.
It almost exploding, but the person inside the tank had the tactician and just did not deal any damage at all. So important to have the classes in check.
It's the first time we've really seen like a class-based type shooter element come in with Call of Duty Mobile. So really interesting, I think, just to kind of see how that power struggle is going to be throughout the entirety of the day today, especially with who gets in the tank, like we mentioned, more often than not. So yeah, that's game number 1 done and dusted. We're getting ready for game number 2, and it looked like at a time, not only were we gonna expect the offense to maybe take the extra 10 points, but at the same rate, that recapture that came out really reset everything. And that's something that I think is going to be a very key element towards the defense, of knowing when they have the opportunity to do that and kind of stifle that offensive pressure. Let's take a look at our standings, though, through our first game. And we've got ourselves a tie up top. Team Bobby plays, and Noah Sunday tied at 73. Vague Squad sitting just underneath them at 72. Beef Mommy, any big surprises here?
Oh man, I love seeing the leaderboard, especially after game number 1. It doesn't matter if you won, but as long as you get the kills. Noah Sunday proves that with 73, the same as Bobby plays in the winning squad. But the most important part is actually looking at the very bottom. Win Sanity with a 41 and Hoxus with a 38, meaning that they'll choose the sides of each of their teams.
That's a really big point. And I think the other interesting thing here is, like, again, we were talking what was going to be more important, winning as a full 16 or getting more individual kills. Noah's team right up there, even though they were on the losing side that time.
Hey, you know what? You get you somebody that could do both. Obviously, Noah not taking the dub, but those kills coming through, oh, so instrumental. Got to go ahead and get typical performance out of Bobby, though. I did not anticipate him to be able to put the squad together and fry with them. 73, remarkable, even with them getting that 10 points.
Now, the other part of this, and we don't want to frame up the negative side of things too soon,
Right.
but only getting underneath 40 points in the first game, all of a sudden you're looking at a gap of 40 points between you and the top. There's a lot of money up for grabs here, Beef Mommy. At what point do you sit there and say, all right, we need to already re-strategize for the day?
Game number 2 is where you need to absolutely re-strategize. You got your practice in game number 1. You know how important kills could be, and it doesn't matter if you're going to be winning or not. Yes, 10 points is important, but Noah Sunday and everyone else who in the losing side that actually had a lot of kills just proves that, number 1, keep kills in mind, but also you got your superlatives if you don't have a win as a team, right?
It's one of those things that everyone can still walk away a winner, even if you're a loser, which we got 3 losers right here. So here's the thing, you know, are we already getting a taste of kills are going to matter more than winning at certain points? It kind of feels that way.
If you're Team Noah, absolutely, because you've got the Brazilian Lion on your team, and you've got a good support group with those BR mentalities. It's a combination of the two, and their guns are just as hot too. So I would be excited to see how they take this game number 2. And Hawks, bro, you've got to bounce back, buddy. 38 points? What?
Yeah, so sides will shuffle. You guys kind of hinted towards that as we get into game number 2. The teams that finished at the bottom of the previous game will have a chance to kind of go back and forth, pick who they want to play with. But we already had to have maybe some favorites to keep our eye on in terms of the bounties that are in the mix. MVP obviously is going to kind of come down to you two as far as who you think is doing that. But I think we're already kind of seeing some of the 4 on the side of Noah's team are looking good for things like most kills and highest KD, whereas I think we could kind of look towards the bottom to see who's got most deaths and least kills so far.
I mean, for me, I'm looking at the superlatives, right? Best kill with a cursed loadout. I'm just waiting for someone to pull up an ANA 45. I mean, that's
Oh my
you
God.
can already hear it in your head, the bells ringing all over the place, right?
They'd be able to take down a tank, though, right? I mean,
Exactly.
there's got to be some kind of strategy involved. You just can't be
Think
never
about
mind.
it.
It's the A45. You've got no life if you're using that weapon. All right, if you're bringing that one out, we are certainly going to be laughing right there along with you.
And I think on top of that, we saw in the highlight package, maybe we didn't see it from the captain's POVs, but we had a number of vehicle takedowns, and we saw a couple of snipe multi-kills. So again, chat, make sure you guys are keeping your eye on that Google form. It will be updating throughout the day with the teams, at least their opinion, their best submissions to try to take those extra categories that are all decided by what you guys have. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for game number 2. So don't go too far. This is, of course, the Ground War.
Job 19.
Welcome back, all of you crazy COD Mobile fanatics. We are live and in the club. As 50 Cent once famously said, find me in the club is going down. I'm too old.
I know.
People don't catch that reference. Boomer rap.
I'm thinking of like another song, you know, about like getting your shots down and everything super exciting inside of the club, but I got you, man.
I'll take the boomer rap references, Bert. Don't worry, I'll keep you up the clear.
I got you, bro. We're gonna get rich or die trying right here.
Hey!
Mini-Man will go down, and it is about to go down again here for Call of Duty Mobile. If we're talking about cheesy and punny little words with names and 50 Cent songs, I got you, homie.
Many men, many, many men. Many dollars being played for, by the way. Make sure, hey, you guys have a chance to react live with us, including our cringe rap references, by using the hashtag GWB cash grab throughout the day. I know that all of our creators that are out there streaming, I'm sure they all have an X tab open looking to see what the community's saying about them. So make sure you guys out there are letting them know about it. Use the rats, use the hashtag, get yourself active. Through one, the big highlight, hey, we've got tie up top, and the top three are separated by a single point. That included a team that was on the losing side. So kills really seem like it's going to be where you make your bread today.
It looks like it's a very effective strategy for the losing teams just to get that kill, especially when you know that you're going to be losing, only having 20 lives left on the attacking side. Just feel free. You have unlimited lives to try and get, especially the defense, we might have a more difficult time. But what I'm looking at is 7 and 8. When Sandy and Hoxas, even though they're at the bottom of the bracket, they still have an upper hand in choosing sides.
That's the big thing here, Verdict. And maybe there's a little bit of like mental aerobics, gymnastics that you can play here of like, wait a second, let's put the two top teams that are getting the most kills on the same side, so they're competing for kills, and it kind of waters down maybe their effectiveness.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, look, the kills are saturated, it's limited, but you're trying to pole vault your way past somebody, right? What's better way to just pummel a team than putting two of the top teams in there? It could go one of either ways.
It's a risk, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
I like it.
Honestly, the creators should like put down their headsets a little bit and listen to us, because
Hey, Vague did earlier.
oh, did he really? Oh yeah, he listened to you. He listened to you.
Telling
I know
you
he
guys,
did.
it's an extra wrinkle in the brain folds right there. I don't know. Could be something to think about. Here's the other thing about it too. We talked about this just again to give you guys the highlight. The tank looked like it was just indomitable. We saw the healing of it. We also saw on the highlight package clip after clip of 2, 3, 4 kills straight, no problem. It seems like that might be the easiest way to really vault yourself up in the kill totals, Beef Mommy.
I mean, when it comes to stopping the tank, I feel like if you're on the defensive side, knowing very well the attack will most likely race towards getting that tank, and that will definitely give them an advantage. Get the FHJ, more FHJ presence on the defensive side, and that's what we saw a while ago in game number 1, and it seemed to be very effective. And also the fact that they were able to recapture B1 is such a tremendous deal. So it means the attack needs to do a little bit of defending as well.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really, really strong point, because like you mentioned, the A zone is just the one flag, but then everything gets wide open over the top of the B zone. So again, lots of things for us to kind of keep our fancy towards what exactly will be happening strategy-wise throughout the entirety of the day, both from the leaderboard perspective as well as in the individual games. So lots of stuff for us to consider there, as much as there is a lot of consideration going on right now with all of our team captains in terms of how do they want to set themselves up. The other kind of topic that I want to introduce here, because we started the whole day off looking like the offense got through the biggest obstacle and they were off to the races, but the players themselves yesterday were saying that defense is just so favored when it comes down to having a sweaty lobby of players. Is there an advantage towards selecting side maybe more than team verdict?
I mean, whatever side Noah was on last game, he was farming kills, right? I know attacking for him, he needed those 10 points. He didn't need them, he got the kills. And when you're looking at it from that perspective, hey, maybe just let me run and gun. The defense is unlimited lives. Can I have a disposable all-you-can-eat buffet of players that you can grab and take for yourself?
All right, well, with that, that's all the frame up through game number 1. Here is what our lobby will look like for game number 2. And how about it? Noah and Bobby will actually be on the same sides this time. So our top leaders are all in the same position. So it'll be really interesting, I think, to see how things kind of frame up. Actually, we have a second here before we load into lobby to talk to Mr. Noah Sunday. I'm going to give you this microphone here so you can talk. Brother, I gotta first and foremost ask, you guys are on the losing side of the last game, but you still are up there tied for first? You guys must have been frying.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that, just because of the fact that, like you said, they got the extra points on us. And now that we're playing with Bobby, who is tied with us for first, They're yapping in my ears. I'm really confident that we're going to be able to outslay them on our same team and then hopefully still get those extra points on Vague's team. So I feel like we're in a really good position going into the second game. And yeah, as far as slaying out goes, I mean, you saw #1 player in the world on our team, like 26, top frag the lobby, as to be expected. Hopefully he gets a 30 kill this game. But I'm feeling really good.
Sweet. Well, again, like you mentioned, it's going to be kind of a kill race between you and Bobby. We're going to keep our eyes on it. We are ready for game, though.
Sir.
So good luck, brother. Have fun out there. And, well, we'll send it back over to Verdict and Beef Mommy as we get ready for game number 2.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into it. Take a look. That list of creators is certainly epic. I wonder what Noah did to get there into that precinct. I'm certainly sure we'll find out later on. He is a criminal. Is he smooth enough to get away with the job, though?
Precinct into 9-9. And there you go. Let's see who's going to be having a tight gameplay right here. And you already saw some sort of strategy going into Wynn's favor, as he's going to be on the defensive side in the second time in a row. And him putting Noah and Bobby on the defense could actually be a detriment to them, meaning that they don't have unlimited lives to actually play with. I mean, in terms of getting those kills.
No, you're right. And then you also have got an aggressive team in Vague. Basically, that LG roster, they're going to have limited lives, but they're going to have to play the objective. We all know LG struggling in some of those objective game modes. They have no struggles with the gunnies. We'll see if they can continue to keep that kill count up high as well. Noah, on the other hand, he's going to have to fend for himself. Limited lives, certainly going to be interesting. We'll see what they can do.
Oh, Jokes is already pushing way up
this is a cheeky
top
spot.
of the hill. Exactly, it's a cheeky spot, but he needs to be careful to be right on the edge. But as we're going to be waiting for more of the gameplay here, we're already seeing certain strategies being played into the very early game.
And I think that's another element of you can kind of get yourself
Kills as possible. So I feel like that's such a big brain play. But on the other side of things, Hawk's definitely an important thing to have Vague in his team, knowing very well that he can go and frag out.
Very much so the case, but we will be resetting the lobby really quickly. So while we're waiting on the game to come back, we will also take just a brief break. Do the same at home. Stay hydrated, friends. We'll be back with game number 2 loading up right after the break. Welcome back there, friends, family. We, at the break, heard the Godfather, Bobby Plays, really ushering along. Everyone, get out of the game, get back in the game. Let's get this thing started, and we are ready to go. So take it away, Beef Mommy Verdict, game number 2.
All righty, let's get it, baby. It's game number 2, highly anticipated, much and waited. And everybody in chat, go ahead and hit that hashtag blame vague. That is the culprit right there as we start off here. A little bit of defensive positioning as we start to spawn trap. And Beef, tell me.
Man, he just wouldn't leave the lobby. I'm just kidding.
Wait, we're not pregame lobby. No, there's kills. We're going.
There you go. We're going to keep things rolling right up in here. Bobby Plays still going to be on the defensive side, and looks like he's in a really good position to spot out everyone else that are trying to get that upper side of the hill, but he does get down.
Oh, he does indeed. The shady up top. This is a cheeky little spot. He's not going to get rezzed. Hawk's Nest finally starting to heat up. There we go. The spray transfer. He's frying. He's got 4 right now, and he's playing the objective.
Hey.
Love to see it, but does get downed out of nowhere. What was Kin's strafes at? Godsley on top of the hill trying to preserve the map control.
Oh my goodness, he's doing the hip fire, and he's just going to be so aggressive, and that's definitely going to be really key for them to get that, but he does get spotted out. Trade after trade, they're still trying to establish that early game, but the attacking side, quick on that A1 capture.
Oh yeah, you talked about it. Elements of BR coming into play. Hip fire, absolutely OP. Love to see it right there. PTFO, very, very early on. I don't see where the life count is right now, but we've already got Zone A coming through, and it looks like we're going to be able to make the transition on through. We'll see if Aerith can make it out. As we see on the other side of the hill, there are plenty of Peaky Blinders over there, let me tell you. They are not looking to be friendly.
I mean, we already know that this is such a different gameplay compared to the first one. I feel like it was just a little bit too slow in game number 1, and now it's just lightning quick. They are trailblazing, already tank in hand, driving towards those B objectives. And it seems like they want to go in for that B2 capture. They do have to leave certain people into that capture once they do, and eventually send the rest of the squad into B1.
I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody's being sent to the grave with this loadout. I didn't realize we had cursed ones coming through. The Damascus threw me off for Aerith, and I was wondering, how is she not frying? She's got to chick him with a 3 times, 6 times, whatever that was. It was atrocious. The shots here from Joe.
Superlatives.
Superlatives. Hey,
right
somebody's
there.
thinking
We
ahead
got
of time.
it. I knew it. I'm so excited.
Nail on the head, baby.
Cursed loadout right there, but we did hear our concentrators talk about the Chicken and how he's actually really good this season, very much usable, and that is a testament right there. And now going back to the gameplay, Joke's still going to be smoked out, and that's going to provide him a lot of cover, and it seems like he's such in a good position to try and res his teammates actually down right now.
Oh, I appreciate this right here. Look at the top. We got 132.
We are seeing a lot of these kills go down. 123 is a lot of lives and a lot of time for them to try and capture the more. I feel like it's the harder side. B1 is just so difficult to capture.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We saw it almost inside right now. As we're got a little bit of tank warfare. It's one shot. Get it, Bobby! Shutting him down. Little B actually going to get the credit for the kill there, but OP strats coming through for the Godfather. Logical reasoning coming through in the beginning of the game. And let me tell you, logical thinking here, you can't kill me if I'm in a tank, buddy.
Logical reasoning comes into play, and honestly, if I'm playing that, I'm just going to be pressing W, but take a look at the health of the tank right now. It's not looking too good. 28% left in that tank, but he's still dealing a lot of damage outside, though. But then in the outskirts, he's actually not spotting a lot of people, and he's just trying to provide as much noise and trying to provide the distraction.
Yeah, but where's the teammates at? We got to call a little B out. He said he was playing for numero uno. He's got a tank of his own. Can we get some support for Bobby? Hawk's Nest. As we look at his point of view, he's trying to shut it down over here onto this B2 objective. Oh, the kinetic couldn't save him. Oh, he's gotten pushed by 2. Certainly an unfortunate situation. Up top, it's Noah. As we see, he's got a little bit of a slow start here. Not used to this gamer in particular having any kind of bad games.
Oh my goodness, B1 already having so much of progress already. They're going to be locked down, and it seems like the attacking side.
Got a re-up. It went through. I know we had a little moment of peril last game where, hey, did they get the capture in or not? The circle did not complete, and that's where things got wrong. Right here, we're getting some more cursed loadouts here from Aerith, and my goodness, what is this? Is that the NA-45? What gun are we looking at here?
Unfortunately, we only see a scope, but I feel like I am hoping it is the NA-45.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I mean, we already mentioned it a while ago, and they listen, and now all they need to do is actually go in there for the attack, and now they're defending this B1 flag. Like what we mentioned a while ago, in game 1, you can still lose that flag, and so right now they're trying to find a way to actually still establish some dominance here in the B flag, while the rest of their team is actually going in for the attack in B2.
Yeah, the key here, try to get up to the top of the terrace. Right now, you got to get past the gatekeeper. Jesus saves it. Rabalo trying to get the refrags. Our tech is well going to get involved. As we see everything looking pretty solid, as this objective here is compromised for the time being. We'll see if they can get the job done with 104 lives still remaining. So Godsley sticking to the trend here. The abomination of a loadout there in that Shickum. God, I felt bad just looking at it. I couldn't imagine using an Aerith loadout. That looked like a normal one. Maybe I'm just a bot because I'm definitely not sniping in a lobby like this.
At this point, like, just put any gun in all of these very talented people's hands and they will definitely shred with it. And it seems like the Chickem's actually doing a pretty good job at also saving the amount of bullets that you have. You need to also consider that the ammunitions box is going to be a huge playmaker in this game, just in case that you run out of those bullets. As we can see here, Godsley spotting one and is able to kind of revive himself a little bit, and will give that rescue to his teammate that will still provide him a little bit more, you know, capability to go in attack.
Yeah, let's keep that map control right here. This is where we saw that last team in the last game break down. Getting past this waterway, very difficult. Up top, there are plenty of strangers. They're not friendly. 3 stacking it. This is gross. They're holding hands.
They are.
Can't you just win your own gun? No, they ain't playing today. They want to play for keeps, and certainly I can't blame them. 94 now as they're getting hemorrhaged